Hi, Mr. Whitmer.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Steven.
Hi. Yes, how are you today?
I'm okay, thanks.
Awesome. So I just wanted to check in with you. I believe this is first time you and your family are coming in for Jamie for nutrition support, nutrition counseling. So I kind of just wanted to get your take, your perspective on all of this as far as what the purpose of the visit is for Jamie.
Okay.
So with that being said, what is the purpose of the visit? Like, what are you and the family looking for Jamie exactly?
Well, I'm concerned about her recent weights and medical symptoms that she has been experiencing. That I'm afraid, concerned that her medical condition might be connected to her weight and the current uh, food and diet habits. So that's why we wanted to know if there's, we can do something that we can do to help her, improve, her medical condition. Probably also, I'm sure the diet, proper diet can
Yeah,
help.
definitely. So kind of just as a small recap, looking at her kind of nutrition history as far as the foods she's eaten in the past. We've looked at the 24-hour recall for her, just to see that we're on the same page about it. Some of the last foods that she has eaten, for example, the breakfast shows that she's eaten two breakfast burritos, has drank whole milk, around 8 ounces of glass of whole milk, 4 ounces of apple juice, 6 ounces of coffee with creamer and sugar as well. For lunchtime, it does show that she had two bologna and cheese sandwiches with some mayonnaise, as well as some corn chips, Twinkies, and an 8 ounce of whole milk again. And then she does seem to have snacks during the day as well. So we do see here that she's had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and as well, that comes with peanut butter and a grape jelly and a 12 ounce of whole milk. And then for dinner, we see that she's had some fried chicken, two legs and a thigh, a cup of mashed potatoes. That you guys prepare, I assume, with is it you and the wife that prepared the meals, correct?
Yes, that is right.
Okay. So I do see that it was recorded here that it was prepared with milk and butter. There is also 1 cup of fried okra, and 20 ounces of sweet tea. And then for the snacks, so I guess after dinner, I see that there is 3 cups of microwave popcorn and a 12-ounce Coca-Cola. Was there anything else that I may have missed, or is that just about everything?
It's just about, what you have.
Okay.
Uh,
So, I hear what you're saying. You're expressing the concerns for your daughter, for Jamie, and she's a great kid. Been all the things that we've been learning about her, all the things that you guys have been telling us about, and you are expressing concerns for her weight, the way that she is eating, and I believe she is 10 years old. And
that's
with
right.
that being said, it is important that we uh, do address some of these concerns. We want her to be healthy. And as far as assessments go, for her age and for her weight at about 115 pounds, I believe she weighs, um, it does show that she is classified under the obese category or the 97th percentile for her current age and height, and weight. And normally for kids her age, they should be somewhere between the fifth and the 85th percentile, or below the 85th percentile, really. And those are kind of the standards that we go with when it comes to measuring the body mass index for children. And so that's something important to note. However, what we really want to dive into more, aside from that, just knowing those details, is what she's going through. So she does seem to consume, some very calorie dense foods versus nutrient dense foods. So she seems to be a pretty good eater, which is a good thing. She at least she has an appetite. But it does seem that she is consuming a lot of the definitely a higher portion than is expected for kids her age, and definitely consuming a lot more calories in that sense as well. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, okay, that's all right.
Okay. So yeah, with that being said, it's kind of determined that she is consuming an excess amount of calories or energy. And I believe there is a what we would call a food and nutrition related knowledge deficit. So that hasn't, and so I don't know if you and your family and Emily have ever had prior, knowledge or kind of just the take of how to eat properly, healthy meals, serving sizes and portions, things of that nature.
Well, uh, not really. We haven't have like any formal like nutritional education classes or ever attended, but we always were under the impression that we eat like healthy food at home. As you can see, her diet. Most I mean the food that we eat is homemade food, and of course she is a good eater, has a great appetite, and all. But so we always thought, I mean that because she's got appetite, that she will outgrow her weight as she
Mhm.
grows up. Because as you can see, for her age, 10, 11, she's 5'7" tall. So it's kind of tall for her age. We
Mhm.
figured that she will outgrow her weight. But unfortunately, her physical activity or physical education during a school hour has stopped for a few years. I think around 5 years, because the school budgets cut back. They don't have enough budget to include physical education classes or any other sort of classes that she may benefit from. So, and then I work too many long hours, and then I don't probably do not have enough time to practice family uh, exercises or bicycling, stuff like that. Going to the park, we haven't had that time much. So, and then in addition to the pandemic, we've been sort of like everybody being on lockdown. So it's been everything's been so limited. So uh, definitely, we reached the point that she's been increasingly gaining weight more and more and more. And then if you are aware all the symptoms that she exhibits, I'm afraid that she might be having a sleep apnea, because she at such a young age, she's snoring, restlessness, and she has a lack of energy during the daytime. She feels looks irritated and not able to focus that well in school. So all that may seem to be connected, according to the doctor, to poor sleeping patterns, or quality sleep. So so I'm trying to cover all the bases, and I think one of those most important ones is her nutrition. So we are determined now to turn around her nutritional diet habits. Food. To get us educated more,
Mhm.
and see. Obviously, we have not been doing a good job, as parents. So here we are.
Yeah.
I'm all ears, open to learn all you have to offer us.
Well,
In
no,
order
thank you
in order
for
to help Jamie. Yeah.
yeah, thank you for sharing that. And it's true. Sleep is very important. It does play a factor in one's health as well.
Yeah.
And that goes hand in hand just as much as exercising and nutrition does. They all collectively work together for the greater good. Um, and like you mentioned before, that Jamie's school has kind of had budget cuts and has, um, I guess, gotten rid of the physical education program, amongst other things. So that I can understand how that might make it more difficult, for her to be active. And so that also um, increases, risks for more health problems for Jamie and for all the other kids as well. That having that lack of physical activity, they have it for a reason at those schools, and it's beneficial to all kids, and it's a chance for them to obviously have a little more freedom, instead of being stuck in a classroom all day. So I can understand where you're coming from with that and the frustration and concern. um, so with that being said, those are other things that we would need to work on as well. But as far as the eating goes, I was saying that based on Jamie's nutrition patterns, her eating habits, she is consuming an excess amount of calories, and that kind of is connected to the knowledge, the background of what to eat or what not to eat. So that's something we want to work on. We want you, as the parents, to be able to know what to provide for her, because she's only 10. But that doesn't mean that she can't learn these things for herself as well. But of course, she's gonna need that support from her parents. So you, the parents, will have to, need to know and be as proactive just as much as she does when it comes to choosing the right foods for her or for the family. So we kind of went over the foods that she does typically eat. So what we want to focus on is alternatives or other healthier food choices that can lead to a healthier weight down the line, and have realistic goals for her to be able to reach. So I did send you a handout that kind of just gave an example of kind of like a breakfast, lunch, and dinner type of meals, if you have it on you, so that we can kind of go through it.
Sure. Let me check my mail. Just a moment. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
Perfect. So, what we have here is just kind of, again, an example. So we have here for breakfast, scrambled eggs with cherry tomatoes and spinach, with 1 ounce of shredded mozzarella cheese, and 1 to 2 slices of whole wheat bread, and a 6 ounce of reduced fat milk to have for her. Um, Having snacks in between, some string cheese and wheat crackers as an example. For lunch, some salmon, a 3 ounce salmon, half a cup of rice, half of an avocado, for some fats there, some orange juice, 4 ounce of orange juice, and a cup of strawberries. We want to make sure that she's kind of getting a mixture of, some protein, some carbohydrates, some fats, and some of her fruits and vegetables as well. Because since we did go through that nutrition history of hers, I did notice that there wasn't exactly enough of fruit and vegetables in the mix. So yeah, I mean, again, that adds more nutrients for her, and it adds some nice color to the meal as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. We have some afternoon snacks, yogurt with some granolas, or maybe having some pretzels instead. Again, these are examples. There are plenty. This is not limited to these, just these options.
Okay.
So those are things that, if she may have already tried this, or if she hasn't tried some of these snacks or meals, this is a perfect opportunity for her to learn other foods and snacks to try. And for dinner, we can include chicken with whole wheat tortillas, some black beans, 1 serving or 1 cup of mixed vegetables, and a cup of grapes, or half a cup of grapes.
Yeah. So, yeah, there seem to be a very healthy choices. I just not sure. I mean, how um, I mean, which if she's going to be able to
To follow
comply
it,
with this diet.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
she's been used to eating what you know that she's been eating. I mean, it's like well, I might be a tough transition,
of
from one
course,
diet to
I can
another.
understand.
Well, probably will introduce this maybe gradually, right?
So this is kind
Uh,
of, again, this is an example, this template, this is like, you can call the ideal, the ideal meal plan. Um,
uh-huh.
this would be nice to get to at a certain point down the line. But of course, when we go back to realistic goals, um, yes, like you said, Jamie is used to eating the foods and snacks that she's used to eating. So one of the best places we can start is perhaps reducing the serving size. So for example, in the breakfast in the morning, she has had not one but two breakfast burritos. Um, that might be pushing it there. So maybe we can take a little step back and reduce it down to one breakfast burrito instead.
That's right.
That way she's still enjoying what she likes. But again, we obviously want to reach that end goal where she can still enjoy the food that she eats because she's only 10 years old. She has so many years ahead of her that of still growing, and the whole purpose of providing this this meal plan is to show all the possibilities in terms of her growth. There is a thing called failure to thrive. There are kids that at a young age fail to grow properly because they are lacking the proper nutrients that they need in their
Mhm.
body to help them grow. I can see that she's drinking a lot of milk, which is kind of good just because she is getting her vitamin C, she's getting that calcium, she's getting those nutrients. But at the same time, I do see that she's kind of consuming a lot in one sitting. Uh, so, the milk, for example, maybe we can reduce that to just 8 ounces of milk for all across throughout the day if she does consume it throughout the day. Um, the popcorn, we can reduce that to 1 to 2 microwave popcorns instead of three cups. The,
Okay.
the Coca-Cola, maybe cut that in half. Again, all these changes, all these little changes that we're making can make a difference, and that's just something that needs to be understood. So for the fried chicken, maybe that's something we can change into, instead of having fried chicken, having baked chicken or grilled chicken. And that's just a better alternative as
There we
far as
go.
go.
Yeah.
Maybe the mashed potatoes can be made a little bit differently. I understand that it's being made with milk and butter. There are different ways that it can be made, or you can have rice instead and add some garlic to it. Garlic is a really nice addition to just about any food. Um, and definitely try different snacks in between. So I do see that she has peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and a 12 ounce of whole milk for her snacks. So again, kind of reducing that in half. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, they're pretty good to have, but maybe change the bread. It says that it is enriched bread, so maybe try whole wheat bread instead. So these little changes is a good start. Maybe implementing again, this is what's realistic for you as a family and for what she is willing to try. So based on that little meal plan template that I provided you guys, maybe is it possible that she can have one healthy meal out of that list, like maybe a few times a week,
Oh,
maybe
I see.
twice a week, 3 times a week.
Yeah,
Um,
substitute one of her meals during the day for one
exactly.
of this.
So that way she can get exposure to
That's good.
that. So
That's
this
an
this this
excellent idea.
way this way that we're not only reducing or cutting the serving sizes, but we're also providing her the alternatives, the other nutrients that she still needs.
Okay.
So does that
I,
seem like a realistic thing to do?
oh yeah, that's very good. Yeah, I think that way it's very. I think she'll be able to transition with not so much problem.
Yeah.
Because she's still during transition time, she's still going to be able to enjoy, eat the foods that she likes, and gradually be introduced to a new food. I mean, and then she might probably be able to accept that,
Mhm.
gradually increasing more towards the new diet or
Right.
food style. Yeah.
Again, it's not to say that there won't be any challenges, Um, she's at an age where not only is she used to eating the things that she eats, but um, our understanding as adults will be a little different than a 10-year-old's understanding
Yeah.
in these matters.
Okay.
So, but again, it's all in all, it helps to have that family support. That way, they can have that encouragement. They can feel supported along the way, and they can see that they're not alone in the process. Um, so that's definitely important to have the family kind of be participants as much as possible. But again, at the end of the day, this is about Jamie. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, with that being said, I don't know if you have any other questions or concerns.
Yes, just a couple questions. So, will she be able to lose any? You expect her to lose weight by changing her food habits, different food items?
Yeah, so that is the goal. That we want her to be able to see change in her weight. That's something we want to monitor. One of the very main things that we want to monitor along the way during this transition and reducing her serving sizes and implementing different food choices and meals. And I think the best thing to do is to kind of have a follow up in about maybe 3 to 4 weeks to see if there's any changes. We're not expecting there to be a dramatic drop in weight, if any weight at all. But we want to, I think the first thing, first and foremost, is we want to see that she's able to kind of, I guess, comply with these little changes, that she's doing okay, that she's being consistent with them.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of step one.
Sounds
Again, it is
good.
a different change for her. So
Yeah. From the meal plan that you provide me, on the type of rice, it says that 3 ounces of salmon and half a cup of rice. Does it matter if it's white or brown rice?
you can make it brown rice if you'd like. It does include maybe just a little bit more fiber than the white rice. It isn't a very huge difference, to be honest,
Okay.
but brown rice, you can't go wrong with it. And if
Okay.
Jamie is able to eat it, if she is fine with eating it, then I would just allow her to eat it. If she's not, if she doesn't enjoy the brown rice, then stick with the white rice.
Yeah. About how many eggs? Scrambled eggs and cherry
Anywhere
tomatoes.
to 2 to 3 scrambled eggs, maybe preferably egg whites. You can maybe have one egg yolk in there. It is healthy fats as well. It's nothing wrong with having the yolk in there. Sometimes um, that's kind of miscommunicated, but so yeah, I have 2 to 3 eggs to include in the breakfast would be fine.
Okay. Sounds good. I think it's clear now.
Awesome.
I
Well,
understand.
so then definitely I appreciate your time, and we will definitely touch base again in about 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay. Very well.
All right. Have a good
Thank you
one.
very much,
Thank you.
Steven. All right. You take care too. Bye
Bye.
bye.